and couldn't find someone who was not a Marxist. The person he nominated to run the Bureau of Land Management was connected to an eco-terrorism plot, a terrorist plot, of all people, and these will be confirmed. You watch, and they'll all get a top-secret clearance. I had a clearance like that for 2 decades, as did many in this community. They're hard to get. They're supposed to be. You shouldn't get one if you're a terrorist. I'm starting to think Biden's doing this on purpose, that he's not really that goofy. He's trying to destroy America. Have a good day. From the Zoom Walton Zone.
Hello and happy Thursday. We'll see a mostly sunny sky becoming partly cloudy this afternoon. We'll see another warm day ahead with highs today in the mid to over 70s. It'll be breezy at times with wind gusts up to 25 miles per hour for today. Could see a few small showers this afternoon, a few more showers in the forecast tonight. That's as our next cold front moves through. Once that front passes, our temperatures turn significantly cooler. Highs Friday back in the low to mid 50s. I'm meteorologist Zach Malak in the Weather Center.
And now, the Sandhills' #1 morning show. Mornings with the LeaderMan. Here on Talk 97.3 FM, 104.1 FM, and 990 AM WEEB. And heard and seen around the world at talk973.com.
The best part of waking up is waking up with us.
Do you know what today is?
No way.
The Great American Smokeout.
By quitting smoking, you reduce your risks for high blood pressure, heart disease, stroke, and lung cancer.
And that is why it's the Great American Smokeout.
The American Cancer Society's Great American Smokeout.
Giving up smoking is easy. I should know. I've done it thousands of times.
Smoke 'em if you got 'em.
No, that's the opposite of what I just said.
It's showtime.
You may think that I'm talking foolish. You've heard that I'm wild and I'm free. You may wonder how I can promise you now this love that I feel for you always will be. But you're not just time that I'm killing. I'm no longer one of those guys. As sure as I live, this love that I give is gonna be yours until the day that I die. Oh baby, I'm gonna love you forever, forever and ever, amen. As long as old men sit and talk about the weather, as long as old women sit and talk about old men. If you wonder how long I'll be faithful, I'll be happy to tell you again. I'm gonna love you forever and ever, forever and ever, amen.
Good morning, Talk 97.3 FM, 104.1 FM, and 990 AM WEEB. Thanks for making us a part of your Thursday morning. Randy Travis there, Forever and Ever, Amen. That was his first real hit, and it took him to stardom. But anyway, I'm Steve Leader Adams. Along with me every morning, of course, the Colonel, retired Marine Colonel Jeff Drummond. Good morning, Colonel.
Good morning, Moore County. Time once again to take in the fresh air of truth and freedom, found only here at WEEB. Hey, if you're randomly looking through the news, wonderful article here today from the Epic Times. The FDA asked the court, the FDA has been subpoenaed or FOIA'd to produce all the documentation on its approval process for the Pfizer COVID vaccine. And the FDA has gone to court and said, hey, we need about 55 years to do all of that. They want to limit the release of that information to 500 pages a year, or 500 pages a month. Would take 55 years to get all 390 something thousand pages of documents released. So, hey, that's a clue. That's a clue. The FDA is dragging their feet on releasing information. And oh, by the way, when Pfizer began producing its vaccine, etc., it only took the FDA 108 days to sift through all that paperwork and approve the vaccine or approve the production. So Yeah, you're being played. So if you haven't figured it out, keep reading. You will eventually. Even a well, I can't say that. Steve will get mad at me. Even a knucklehead sitting in his basement wearing a mask with the lights out, a Democrat. Yeah, even you'll figure it out eventually.
All right. Don't forget, of course, we're being heard and seen around the world on our live video stream. That's up and running right now at talk973.com or talk1041.com or weeb990.com. Top middle of the page is where the link's located, plus there's a chat room there. You can chat with other listeners. And I can see what's going on most of the time. So feel free to join in. And, of course, if you just want our audio stream by itself, meaning our audio stream, you can get to that, too, from our website. Upper right-hand corner of every page, that's an icon that says on the air, listen live. Click that once and you're listening that quick. Weather for us today here in the Sand Hills area is going to be about as good as it gets. Partly cloudy, 75 for high. Is that all right? Tonight, partly cloudy, a little more chilly, 41 degrees. Friday, sunshine and 56. Now, front comes through tonight, late overnight, but they've taken rain out of the forecast, but the cold front comes through. And then Friday, and over the weekend, it'll be a lot cooler. Like Friday will be 56 under sunny skies, Saturday 55, Sunday 65, and Monday 63. And just so you know, Thanksgiving Day, they're looking for clear 61 degrees according to the long-range computer forecast. Right now around the Sandhills, winds are west at 1, pressure is 30.04, dew point 51, humidity 88%. It's currently a little fog out there and 55 degrees here at Talk 97.3 FM, 104.1 FM, and 990 AM WEEB.
Amen.
Alrighty. Yeah, I think he came out on the CMA Awards or one of those country awards program and started playing that. He played it for the very first time America heard it, and it was an instant hit. And he went from unknown to everybody knew him. And then I went down. I was working at a big country station in Raleigh, QDR, and we went down to Fayetteville to see him perform with Lee Greenwood. And we of course had backstage patches because we were special. And we went back there to meet him. And nice, very quiet guy. They're never as big in person as you thought. A little on the short side, thin and short, but hey, you can pump out a song. All right. Let's see, 7:36. Let's jump to our morning sound bites. While we're speaking of the music, people, the vinyl of Taylor Swift's re-recorded Red album was pressed at 45 RPM instead of 33 RPM. So these vinyl lovers going, A lot of people thought that the album didn't, people who bought the album didn't realize it, and neither thought there was a man singing or they got a bad copy. Here's We Are Never Ever Getting Back Together, Taylor's version, played at 33 RPM. So that's what it sounds like. It makes it sound like the guy when you slow it. Well, you play the vinyl at 33 and a third. But if you speed up 45, it'll sound normal. I don't get it, but that's what they did. Okay. That was thrilling knowledge, wasn't it, Colonel?
I really have no interest in music, records, whatever. You can play at any speed you want. I think the best I ever did with the record is use them as a Frisbee.
All right, let's, well, they don't throw as well as the Frisbee. I tried. We had a bunch of old nothing records here. Old country countdown songs records. And I was out there playing with my first dog I had down here was Josh. And he liked to get it, but he could chomp it in 2 seconds. Okay. All right, best of the late night uni boys.
Tiger King 2 came out. Is anyone going to watch this? I don't know. It feels weird because, like, during the pandemic, we were all trapped in the house and it came on. Now it's like looking at text messages you sent during a breakup. It's like I was a different person back then. I just want to move on.
Well, guys, it seems like supply chain issues are causing new problems every day. I just read that this holiday season, there's going to be a shortage of both real and artificial Christmas trees. It won't be quite the same when your family's singing carols around a coat rack wrapped in lights.
It announced that the Los Angeles Staples Center will change its name to the Crypto.com Arena. So look for the Lakers to be up by 20, then back down by 40, then up by 10,000, then back to 0.
It is the most lucrative naming deal in the history of sports. It's twice as much as it costs to build the Staples Center. But a lot of people around here don't like the new name at all. You know you're in a weird spot when fans are like, we have to go back to when it was named after an office supply store.
Well, as usual, none of the three were funny.
Yeah, why don't they get Gutfeld and play some of him?
Yeah, really.
He's funny.
Former Pittsburgh defense lawyer Daniel Musig who once bragged in the commercial that he thinks like a criminal, actually ended up being one. He pled guilty to conspiring to distribute 100 kilograms or more of marijuana and possessing of marijuana. Here's one of his old commercials.
Consequences. They sure suck, don't they? America was built on freedom, not on a bunch of people with more money than you telling you what you can and can't do with all their stupid laws. My name is Daniel Music, and I stand ready, willing, able, and committed to defend you on all manner of criminal charges, including murder, simple and aggravated assault, and possibly even funny throwback crimes such as moonshine. I may have a law degree, but I think like a criminal.
Yeah, now you can get you a couple lids of Mary Jane if you need it.
Let's see.
Probably took it in payment for some criminal that he defended in court.
Yeah. You may have heard of the new device called a dog phone that allows dogs to initiate video calls with their owners. Apparently, there's a compelling product called FaceBark. Check it out.
From the same people who invented FaceTime comes a phone device for dogs, FaceBark. So if your dog suffers from separation anxiety, it can check in with you whenever it's lonely.
What is it, boy? No, I'm at work. I can't come home right now. Yes, I will bring you some treats. No. Leave Mommy's cat alone.
FaceBark, keeping pet parents from doing their job one whimper at a time.
News this week about Peacock working on a documentary series about Barney. You remember the purple dinosaur? Yeah, it got me thinking about the 90s when Barney and Friends was a huge phenomenon. Since this is Throwback Thursday, were you a Barney girl?
Hiya, Donna.
Hiya, Barney.
Want a little tail?
Sure, Barney.
Come on, Donna. Do you wanna?
I'm a Barney girl, 'cause he rocks my world. His purple body makes me naughty. He's my one true love, fits me like a glove. I make him spastic, pulling his elastic. I'm a blonde single girl in a fantasy world. Sit me down on your lap. Give
jokes. They laughed. You should see them. Here's one bone won't be shown in any museum.
Barney, what's wrong?
I got a bone to pick with you, Donna.
I was hoping you'd say that.
Okay. Well, we've heard the headline news, but what about the not headline news?
This is not headline news. You can now order a Taylor Swift drink at Starbucks. It's tall and gets very bitter when you stop paying attention to it. A new study says coffee reduces the risk of getting dementia. And if you need me to repeat that, go get a cup of coffee. There's a new app that will allow dogs to FaceTime with their owners while they're away. There was going to be one for cats, but they swiped left. And today is the Great American Smokeout, which is now better known as the Great American Vape-In. This is not headline news.
Yeah, vape is worse than smoking. So you should have a big vape out, too.
Have you ever seen the program on CBS called, Great Steve, Bull?
Great Steve? No, I've never seen, never heard of that one.
You never heard of Bull?
Bull? No. I'm afraid. I don't watch network television if I can at all help it.
What Bull is just basically a psychologist who helps defense attorneys pick juries.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, there you go.
And in this case with the Kylie, last name, Rittenhouse. Yeah. Kyle Rittenhouse. The jury was interviewed by trial scientists who then spoke with the defense attorneys. And Megyn Kelly was interviewing the two last night about it, and they were basically saying this trial isn't about justice. This is about whomever you get on that jury. He says in our experience, 2 to 3 jurors always have a guilty verdict in mind. You're guilty no matter what you say, do, or show me. And the rest will usually be the not guilty crowd, or it could be vice versa. But in this case, he thinks it's based on his interview with the jurors before the trial that he feels like this is a hung jury right now. He says this is always a jury verdict. It's not about a justice trial. And those that are against this young man are going to stay against him no matter what the others say, do, or show them. Because as you know, they came back yesterday to look at some video again and to get their point across to those jurors. This is all assumption, by the way. And after hearing all that, I said, well, it looks like the worst they'll get is a hung jury. Because in the rare event they might change these people's minds, which is probably not possible, then it will be a hung jury. And then the judge could rule on that motion to dismiss based on the latest shenanigans from the defense attorney of holding back evidence until after the trial was over, as far as the evidentiary part of it. And the judge says he just got it and he has to read it before he can rule on it. But I wouldn't look for a not guilty verdict. I may be wrong, but these guys knew what they were talking about based on prior experience, not only their interviews with the jurors, and they interviewed all of them that were in the pool to get a profile of them and recommend which ones that to the defense attorney that would be best to be on that jury. Of course, you never get all the ones you want on there, but as long as you get the majority, you stand a chance. But you never know what will happen in the jury room.
Well, the fact that this is a political trial, I mean, that's a blinding flash of the obvious. Anybody who's even given this a cursory look knows that. So, yes, it's a political trial. No doubt about it. Yeah, okay, this guy gets to interview these people. I'm not sure what the process is or what the law is in Wisconsin to have outside individuals interviewing jury members or potential jury members or whatever. I find some of that suspect, but you bring in your jury pool, and the lawyers, the prosecution and defense are supposed to question them. I don't know where all this interview stuff comes in. Apparently, apparently it's allowed in Wisconsin, but I don't know. This kid's in trouble because the Wisconsin AG, the state attorney general, is a Soros-funded liberal crackpot, and all the way down to Kenosha. Everything's been in the bag to put this kid in prison. They put him in prison for 3 months, pretrial confinement, excuse me. But everything about this is fishy. I mean, he got no considerations that would have been given to a Antifa or Black Lives Matter thug in the same circumstance. And these 3 people that he shot, 2 killed, one wounded. They were all either out on bail or on probation or had committed a crime in being there with a gun. The 3rd dude, he should be off the prison right away. But the prosecution hides all of that from the jury and from the public, unsuccessfully ultimately, but hides all the criminal acts of these clowns, so that this 3rd guy who can get up there with a limp arm and say, yeah, he shot me, and I'm a victim. Well, no, he's not. He's a criminal, and he should have gone to jail for 10 years on federal charges. He shouldn't even been there for the trial. So this whole thing's a put up. The whole thing's a political process to put this kid in jail and to diminish Second Amendment rights throughout the country. That's ultimately what will happen here if this kid is convicted.
All right, well, we'll just have to wait and see like everyone else, but don't be surprised if it comes back hung.
Well, I think the judge ought to throw it out. He should
he might
do a mistrial with prejudice, given what that said it yesterday. There's more detail out on it today. The drone footage of the whole event, the preceding event, where the prosecution is trying to lay blame for the whole thing on Kyle Rittenhouse for having started it by pointing his rifle at someone.
They're trying to say he provoked the fight.
Right. And, the drone footage shows that event, and the prosecution had high-definition footage of that, but did not give that footage in that form to the defense. They gave them a lesser compressed file, altered file, whatever the proper term is, but they did not give they gave the defense a fuzzy copy of that thing where you couldn't tell what was going on in that film. And it's been proven, it's been shown, they knew it, they did it deliberately. When you look at the timing of the files, the compression of the files, et cetera, it all lays it out there, showing that the prosecution knew what they were doing when they gave that funky file to the defense. And when you look at the HD version of that, you can make out that, in fact, Kyle Rittenhouse did not, and I'm reading this, I didn't watch it, but I'm reading what is being reported, or telling you what's being reported. Kyle Rittenhouse did not start this whole thing or provoke this whole thing by pointing a rifle at anyone. So there it is. That's, to my mind, that's a mistrial. That's it right there. Done.
Yeah. Well, you also have a
scummy prosecutors.
Scummy prosecutor, but you have a very irresponsible press. MSNBC's been coming at this one way only, and in fact, when the defense got up there to give its case, they cut away. As long as the prosecutor was up there, they gave it full wall-to-wall coverage. So, and then they got their pundit heads sitting there and saying, calling Kyle a racist, white supremacist, every book name in the book,
An active shooter.
Any way they could demean him and the trial. And this is what maybe some of the jurors watch MSNBC, and that's what they get their head filled with. And the other point that these juror analysts had was some of these people are saying to themselves, because if they come away with a not guilty verdict, then they're wondering if their life will ever be the same. Are their houses going to be attacked, their children attacked, their cars attacked, so forth and so on. And they're saying, why should we cut this guy loose so that our lives can change forever? That's another thought. Because they were out there on the courthouse steps yesterday. One got arrested, demonstrating. There were a few scuffles that broke out. So it's like the left never wants to hear your side. They just want to grind their side into you, whatever it takes. And if there is negotiations, there's never in good faith. It's either you take what we say or forget it. Okay. So day 3 of deliberations will be today. Let's see some comments from the internet, meaning Twitter. One comment was if Biden cared about all the energy prices, he would get Gretchen Whitmer to stop trying to shut down the Line 5 pipeline in Michigan. And he sits there and he says, there's nothing I can do about gas prices. And they're going up. Well, you caused them to go up, bull. When you cut down supply and demand stays at its current level, if not higher, because people that have been, chained up for a year, want to get out and look around. Well, demand goes up a little bit, but supply goes down. Guess what? The price goes up. Just that simple. You want to bring the price down, increase supply beyond what demand is, and the price will come down. But they, being the experts that they are, think you can spin your way out of it. No, that adds to it. More dollars chasing the same goods and services. Another quote they'll tell you is the time to defend yourself against barbaric mobs, and in the same breath declare words are violence. U.S. health officials, for the first time, an estimated 100,000 Americans died of drug overdoses in 1 year. Senator Rand Paul. It's amazing that fundamentally we have people at the highest level of government, the president included, who don't understand where inflation comes from. Now, that is so true. They don't have a clue where it came from. How can they possibly figure out how to solve it? Although I've already told you the answer a minute ago. How can Kyle Rittenhouse be given a fair trial when the jurors are threatened with riots and violence if they don't convict? And lastly, a manifestly innocent Rittenhouse still, at this moment, faces the prospect of life in prison because the jury knows he did nothing wrong, but is terrified their lives could be ruined for finding him not guilty. This is the America that the left wanted to create, and it's here. Any comment, Colonel?
No, I reading a text.
All right, things we need to know today so we don't sound stupid, and get this one. Some high schools are dropping the musical Grease from its drama department possibilities because it's, quote, too sexist. Oh, here's another one for you, Colonel. You'll love this one. I don't know if you know who Rockman Dunbar is. He's an actor.
Never heard of him.
Yeah, I didn't either till yesterday, but I've seen him. He plays the on the show 911.
Never watched it.
Okay, well, so that people who have, he plays the black female cop's ex-gay husband.
All right, fine.
Anyway, he's leaving the hit Fox drama series after more than 4 seasons. His character, Michael Grant, was abruptly written off in Monday night's episode because, quote, he refused to get vaccinated.
There's a lot more people trying that or finally figuring that out. So, going to be a lot more of it.
A new study says that 300 minutes a week of moderate exercise may be enough to fight off cancer. How about that?
Well, anything besides sitting around is better for you. So, yeah, okay. You know, hey, drink
Hello,
coffee.
happy Thursday. We'll see a mostly sunny sky becoming partly cloudy this afternoon. We'll see another warm day ahead with highs today in the mid to over 70s. It'll be breezy at times with wind gusts up to 25 miles per hour for today. Could see a few small showers this afternoon, a few more showers in the forecast tonight. That's as our next cold front moves through. Once that front passes, our temperatures turn significantly cooler. Highs Friday back in the low to mid 50s. I'm meteorologist Zach Malak in the Weather Center.
Broadcasting from the top of the North Carolina Sandhills, 97.3 FM, 104.1 FM, and 990 AM. WEEB, Southern Pines, Pinehurst, Aberdeen.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. Bolstering its defenses in the face of Chinese aggression, Taiwan deploying the most advanced version of the F-16 fighter jet it has in its Air Force. The president of the island nation putting 64 upgraded F-16V fighters into active service. We are awaiting day 3 of jury deliberations in the Kyle Rittenhouse trial, Kenosha, Wisconsin. No verdict yet. At the Ahmaud Arbery murder trial in Brunswick, Georgia, one of the defendants, Travis McMichael, has taken the stand in his own defense, arguing self-defense in the fatal shooting of Arbery. The third time the charm for John Deere workers. They've approved a new contract after rejecting it in 2 previous votes. That pact delivering a 10% pay hike immediately. It also ends a month-long strike by more than 10,000 Deere employees. President Biden claims his 2 massive spending initiatives have gotten a thumbs up from a couple of impartial sources.
Not a liberal think tank, 2 Wall Street outfits, that the economic proposals we put forward for the nation, the infrastructure law we just signed and the Build Back Better plan are being considered this week in Congress will not add to inflationary pressures in the economy.
The president addressing GM workers in Detroit the other day. GOP Senator Tom Cotton says all of that spending simply throws gasoline on the fires of inflation.
You've got more money chasing after fewer goods, and of course the result is going to be more inflation. Higher gas prices, higher grocery prices, higher toy prices as we come up on Christmas.
An Arkansas Republican talking with the Salem Radio Network. President to meet with a couple of neighbors later today, participating in a one-day summit with his Mexican and Canadian counterparts. Watching Wall Street this morning, stock futures higher ahead of this morning's opening bell. The Dow futures up 20 points. NASDAQ futures better by 79. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Hey everybody, Charlie Kirk here. Freedom Square is an unbelievable service. Digital Commonwealth, actually. It's a patriotic portal designed to unite freedom-loving Americans. I know these guys. They love their country, and they're doing an amazing job. You can log on now to create your free personalized dashboard. All of your favorite news sites, podcasters, all on one site, all at your fingertips. FreedomSquare.com's business directory will connect like-minded business owners with like-minded consumers. Spend your money with those that share your values. Sign up your business right now at freedomsquare.com and start connecting with freedom-loving Americans. Freedomsquare.com is also a resource library constructed for you to learn about America's founding documents. Look, people want businesses they can support. You want to know the good guys from the bad guys. That's freedomsquare.com. Log on right now and create your personalized dashboard. Join us in the fight. I know these guys. They are wonderful. I honestly know them better than almost anybody else in the world, and I know they've been doing this for a while, so check it out. freedomsquare.com. freedomsquare.com. Freedom lives here.
Dozens of Afghan girls said to be promising athletes have managed to escape Afghanistan for a new life in the UK.
A sense of excitement as the girls and their families prepared for takeoff. The teenagers, who were mostly from the provinces of Afghanistan, had fled in terror to Kabul as the Taliban took over their towns. Some have since had their homes burned down, and there'd been death threats. But the girls missed the mass Western airlift in August and had to go into hiding as frantic efforts were made to get them out. Pakistan agreed to take them in, but only temporarily. A former manager of Afghanistan's national women's team, who helped coordinate their rescue, said the next goal was to help them start new footballing careers in the UK.
That's BBC's Caroline Hawley. The Taliban urging U.S. congressmen to ease sanctions and release Afghanistan's assets. Country faces economic turmoil. Townhall.com. Well, you never know what you might find when you clean out the fridge.
The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention confirms some frozen vials labeled smallpox were discovered in a freezer at a Pennsylvania facility that conducts vaccine research. The CDC says the vials were incidentally discovered by a laboratory worker who was cleaning out the freezer. Smallpox, which is caused by the variola virus, plagued the world for centuries and killed nearly a third of the people it infected. The United States was able to end routine childhood vaccination against smallpox by the early 1970s, and the World Health Assembly declared smallpox eradicated in 1980. The CDC facility in Atlanta and a center in Russia are the only two sites designated by the World Health Organization where variola vials are stored and used for research. I'm Mike Gracia.
And again on Wall Street this hour, stock futures higher ahead of this morning's opening bell. Right now, Dow futures up 24 points. More on these stories at townhall.com.
As our economy gradually reopens, remember to support local.
Know you're doing the right thing and stay proud.
Be a part of the greatest comeback of all time with Talk 97.3 FM, 104.1 FM, and 990 AM. WEEB.
Jump into the fire at Brick's Wood Fire Pizza in the Cole Shopping Center and enjoy your famous wood fire pizzas and the Brick's Wood Fire wings in several flavors. New menu items and fresh food is made daily. A fun place for family and friends. Dine in or sit on the outdoor patio. So jump into the fire at Brick's Wood Fire Pizza, Kohl's and Hobby Lobby Shopping Center in Southern Pines. Brick's Wood Fire Pizza is open every day at 11 a.m.
The holidays are a time for welcoming friends and family, so it's the perfect time to focus on your home improvement tasks. Aberdeen Carpet has got you covered with Shaw floors and their exceptional carpet, exquisite hardwood, and durable LVP. Hurry into Aberdeen Carpet today, located at 2314 Highway 5 in Aberdeen, near Habitat for Humanity. Open 9 to 4 Monday through Friday and 9 to 2 on Saturday. Visit us online at aberdeencarpet.com to check out the flooring options, then call us at 910-944-6204 to schedule your free estimate.
Hey folks, Celeste here, once again, Whispering Woods Golf Club. You are not going to believe what Whispering Woods Golf Club is offering. Affordable winter golf, $26, all inclusive, until the end of the year. Monday through Thursday, $26. Are you freaking kidding me? Come over to Ellis Maples Gem in the Sandhills. Don't miss out on a great opportunity to play Ellis Maples' masterpiece at an affordable rate. We will also be offering a lifetime opportunity to join our club. Come and see me about details. Whispering Woods Golf Club, located at 26 Sandpiper Drive, Whispering Pines, or give us a call at 910-949-4653. And remember, book 'em, Dano.
From start to finish, we get the job done right. Professional and caring, you're comfortable day or night. We're the local family, you can count on us. Right there, right on time, the ones you come to trust. 4 Seasons Heating and Air. Get comfortable with us.
Cooper
Cooper Ford in Carthage wants you to know that the price you see is the price you pay, with no addendums or hidden fees. In fact, you can't buy a new Ford for less anywhere else, and that's a personal guarantee from Aaron Cooper himself. And despite the complications brought on by the pandemic, Cooper Ford continues to pour back into the community it serves. Just off 15501 in Carthage, or online at cooperford.net. Shop local at the locally owned, award-winning Cooper Ford. Always working hard to be your hometown dealer.
Jared Kirk and Amy McBride of the First Casualty Insurance Group in Southern Pines talk about the benefits of being an FCIG customer.
Our agency has been in business since 1984. We are an independent agency, which means that we have numerous carriers. Having multiple carriers benefits our customers because it offers them more options for their coverage and price.
One of the most asked questions we get from our clients is how much do they need to insure their home for? Many clients think they should insure their home based on tax value or what they could sell their home for. Neither is correct.
Insurance carriers want to insure your home for the replacement value. Replacement value is what it would take to rebuild your home back to its current state in the event of a complete loss.
First Casualty Insurance Group of Southern Pines. Call them today at 910-692-8303 or find them on the web at fcignc.com.
NCN News. I'm Mike Rayleigh. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention is expected to discuss the expansion of booster shot eligibility to all adults over 18 years old on Friday. Dr. Paul Cook, Brody School of Medicine infectious disease expert, told WITN in Greenville.
We have plenty of vaccine, and I think given that there's a reasonable chance that it would help reduce the cases, I think it's probably worth it.
Moderna resubmits its applications to the FDA to authorize COVID boosters for all adults. Correspondent Diane King Hall has that.
Moderna has refiled its application for COVID-19 booster shots for all Americans. The drug maker initially filed back in September. Moderna submitted a revised application yesterday. It comes as expectations climb for Pfizer's booster to get the green light this week for all Americans.
The new state budget is supposed to be signed soon, and Governor Roy Cooper says the most obvious failure in the budget is that it does not expand Medicaid. Pisgah Legal Services Chief Operations Officer Jackie Kiker told WLOS in Asheville.
This budget fails to provide that urgent, needed health care for so many hundreds of thousands of low-income North Carolinians.
The Raleigh-Durham International Airport is getting ready for its busiest holiday season since before the pandemic. That's true of the other states' airports, with a surge starting with Thanksgiving. Air traveler Nancy Edwards tells ABC 11 she's trying not to break the bank.
I had heard that if you went online, you could get a good price, that's a relative term.
A new study on the best diet for managing type 2 diabetes. Correspondent Skylar Henry has that.
Following a low-calorie diet may be key for adults with type 2 diabetes. Researchers in Scotland found those diets, along with formula meal replacements, were more effective in weight management and diabetes remission than food-based diets alone.
You're listening to NCN News.
If you or someone you know has been the victim of a crime, the North Carolina Department of Public Safety Office of Victim Services is here to provide support. The office provides a range of free, confidential services to help you regain yourself, receive compensation for damages incurred, protect yourself and your family, and move beyond the stigma of being victimized. Visit ncdps.gov/4victims. That's ncdps.gov/4victims.
North Carolina retailers are the backbone of the local economy, and now you hold the power to help them rebound faster by spending your dollars in North Carolina. Our retailers' first priority is the health and safety of their employees and customers. So please be patient with retail employees, especially if they ask you to wear a mask. In most cases, they are required by law. The NC Retail Merchants Association proudly represents these dedicated retailers and encourages you to shop smart and shop NC. Learn more at ncrma.org.
Longtime Democratic Congressman G.K. Butterfield has told his staff that he is retiring and will not seek re-election. An official announcement is expected today. Another lawsuit challenging North Carolina's latest round of redistricting has been filed. A conservation group University mathematicians and voters involved in the suit accuse Republican map makers of illegal partisanship and racial gerrymandering.
The litigation filed late Tuesday in state court is spearheaded by the North Carolina League of Conservation Voters. The plaintiffs in part accuse Republican legislators of violating the state's constitution by parceling out portions of the state's large urban counties to favor GOP congressional candidates. They also say General Assembly lines also appear to dilute the voting of black residents. I'm Gail Hurd.
A South Carolina city is facing a huge payout to a black man who was mistreated by police.
The city of Orangeburg, South Carolina will pay $650,000 to a black man who was stopped in the head by a police officer. The officer, David Dukes, who was fired over the incident last July, was upset that 58-year-old Clarence Galliard couldn't quickly lie flat on his stomach because of a medical condition. Police were called after someone mistook a stick Galliard was carrying for a gun. The fired officer was charged with assault and battery. Jim Crisilda, CBS News.
How long is the perfect hug?
When it comes to hugs, there's a fine line between just right and slightly uncomfortable. Psychologists at the University of London wanted to find out how long the perfect hug is by testing out the way it makes us feel during and after the squeeze. They found the sweet spot to be between 5 and 10 seconds. Any longer, and it starts getting weird. But they say those really quick hugs are uncomfortable too and should be avoided. Stacey Lynn.
Hug it out.
CBS News.
Mike Rayleigh, NCN News.
Good morning, everyone, and happy Thursday. It's a milder start to your morning, and we'll see a warm afternoon today. Our highs today back in the mid to upper 70s. We'll see a mostly sunny to partly cloudy sky this afternoon with a few small showers possible. A few more showers still in the forecast for tonight. That's as our next cold front moves through. Once that front passes, our temperatures will be falling fast. Highs Friday much cooler and back in the low to mid 50s. I'm meteorologist Zach Malak in the Weather Center.
Right now, here in the Sandhills area, it's foggy, 56 degrees. Humidity 89%, dew point 51, pressure 3004. Winds west at 1, gusting to 2. It's 8:14. Let's take a look at your Sandhills news. For this Thursday morning, the White House announced on Tuesday that President Joe Biden and his First Lady Jill Biden will travel to Fort Bragg for an early Thanksgiving. The Bidens will be at Fort Bragg on Monday to celebrate Thanksgiving with service members and military families as part of the Joining Forces initiative. And the first comprehensive state budget for North Carolina in 3 years is one step closer to reality after the state overwhelmingly passed the proposal in its final vote. The 41-7 decision sent Senate Bill 105 to the House, which voted 104 to 10 in favor of the budget. A final House vote can happen this Thursday. Then the bill will head to Governor Royce Cooper's office, where he has already signaled he will sign the bill. State budget is perhaps the most important responsibility of state government, how to spend billions of Euro tax money. That's your latest Sandhill news from the Sandhill Sentinel, and of course you can go to sandhillsentinel.com for more information. It is 8:17. Sports is next, right here on Talk 97.3 FM, 104.1 FM, and 990 AM WEEB.
Your morning sports report is brought to you by Hughes Supply of Pinehurst. With over 50 years experience, Hughes Supply can handle all your plumbing project needs from start to finish. Call 910-295-5541 or visit them online at HughesSupplyPinehurst.com.
NCN Sports, I'm Josh Zach. NC State playing for the second night in a row could not match the energy from the night before. Oklahoma State made 6 free throws in the final half minute and fended off the Wolfpack 74-68 in the Hall of Fame showcase. NC State head coach Kevin Keats afterward.
I thought we showed a lot of fight. Our team fought the entire time. We got down as much as 14, and we found a way to claw back in it. which is a very positive thing for us.
Arian Sebron led the pack with 19 points and 10 boards, while Jericho Helms had 15 of his 18 in the second half. On the pro court, Terry Rozier scored 19 points, while Miles Bridges added 17, and the Hornets beat the Wizards 97-87 last night to extend their win streak to 4 and end the Wizards' win streak at 5. Head coach James Borrego crediting the defense for stepping up while the offense struggled.
This game was won with our defense. This is the identity we got to continue to form. We're not there, but to win in this league consistently, you got to bring your defense, and that's what's put us in position to win these last few.
And it will truly be a party-like atmosphere in Charlotte on Sunday at Bank of America Stadium. Yesterday, Panthers head coach Matt Rule said the former NFL MVP Cam Newton is trending towards starting on Sunday versus the Washington football team. Right now, he's just trying to get caught up with the playbook and the game plan.
What Cam's trying to do is not many guys have done, come in and learn something that quickly. That being said, Cam's played a lot of football, and so some things really, probably hit his head easier than others because they've been there for a while. You can see really quickly that he's really a smart guy. He'll figure out the right, plays for him, right amount of plays for him. Obviously, we have PJ as well, so there's the right plays for him, and put together a game plan.
The excitement will be compounded by the return of former Panthers head coach Ron Rivera, who was the two-time NFL Coach of the Year during his time with Newton in Charlotte. This is NCN Sports.
With the new law, more people qualify for financial assistance at healthcare.gov. Real customers like Taylor.
I wish people knew how easy it was to get health coverage. This new law has made it so affordable. I'm only paying $52 a month, but there are quality plans for even less.
New law, lower prices, more people qualify. Enroll by December 15th at healthcare.gov.
Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Basketball season is here, and so is the 2021 ACC Basketball Preview Magazine. You can find it on newsstands everywhere and online right now at ACCSports.com. Get the scoop on all the teams with predictions from the experts, recruiting news, and rankings of the best ACC players and teams. No other magazine dedicates 10 pages to each ACC school, each jam-packed with stats and information. Want a copy shipped to you? It's easy. Go to ACCSports.com and click on the Basketball Preview banner.
UCLA making obvious why they deserve to be number 2 in the AP men's basketball poll. Another early season blowout. The Bruins' latest victim, North Florida, 98-63 the final. Meanwhile, Gonzaga, UCLA, and Kansas remain 1, 2, 3 atop the latest rankings. Michigan moved up 2 spots to number 4. Villanova up 1 spot to 5th. Duke moved up 2 spots. They're number 9. Carolina up 1 spot to 18. Brooklyn made a quick return to its winning ways. James Harden led the way with 27 points as they beat the shorthanded Cavaliers 109-99 last night. Damian Lillard struggled to start but warmed up and finished with 22 points and 10 assists as the rallying Trailblazers cruised to a 112-107 win over the Bulls. Josh Zach, NCN Sports.
Thanks for help bringing the economy back. One local purchase at a time.
Kind of uplifts you and you feel better.
It's the greatest comeback of all time. With Talk 97.3 FM, 104.1 FM, and 990 AM. WEEB.
Home care service for yourself or a loved one is a serious matter. I'm Bob Bonneville, owner of Griswold Home Care of Pinehurst, and I can help. We refer experienced and well-trained caregivers at a very reasonable cost. We come to your home first to make sure it's right for you, and then refer you to the perfect caregiver, short-term, live-in, or respite care. Call me, Bob Bonneville, at Griswold Home Care, 910-420-2360. That's 910-420-2360. Or go online to griswoldhomecare.com/Pinehurst. We've been keeping the heart at home since 1982.
War Dogs Army Surplus is Moore County's largest selection of Army surplus. They buy, sell, and trade Army surplus, and they'll match any legitimate offer from competitors with a price match guarantee. They'll match and beat any competitor's price by 10%. With the largest selection of vintage and modern gear and collectibles, War Dogs has everything you're looking for. Open Monday through Friday, 10:30 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. and 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. on Saturdays. 675 Southwest Broad Street in Southern Pines, or call 910-920-7749. That's 910-920-7749. War Dogs. We offer more and sell for less.
Pine Lawn Memorial Park in Southern Pines is proud to announce our new Fountain of Faith Columbaria. This new final resting place marble installation features a righteous eagle in flight, accompanied by a peaceful and calming water fountain. With our communities and families in mind, Pine Lawn Memorial Park is offering exclusive savings opportunities of over $1,000 to those who reserve their space in this elegant feature in Moore County's only perpetual care cemetery. Space is limited, so call today to schedule a tour and learn how you can save over $1,000 on customizable granite niche options or how to transfer your existing plans. Call 910-692-6801 or visit pinelawnmemorial.com. Don't miss out on this exclusive and limited time savings opportunity. Call 910-692-6801 or go online today and see why more families prefer Pines.
Dealing with the aftermath of a car wreck can leave you feeling stressed. At Ken's Body Works in West End, you'll get collision repair services you can rely on. Family owned and operated for over 20 years, Ken's Body Works specializes in collision repair, body work, custom paint, dent removal, and much more. No job is too big or too small. Ken's certified technicians will have your vehicle back to its factory look and specifications. Call 910-235-0486 for a free estimate today. That's 910-235-0486.
Does your security system have the most up-to-date features available today? At Guild Security, we offer the latest technology, including interactive services that allow you to remotely arm and disarm, control lights and thermostats, lock and unlock doors, interact with guests at your front door, and view live cameras. For a free security analysis of your current system, call Guild Security today at 433-2868 or visit us at guildsecurity.com. Guild Security, a Residio premier security dealer.
Jump into the fire at Brick's Wood Fire Pizza in the Cole Shopping Center and enjoy your famous wood fire pizzas and the Brick's Wood Fire wings in several flavors. New menu items and fresh food is made daily. A fun place for family and friends. Dine in or sit on the outdoor patio. So jump into the fire at Brick's Wood Fire Pizza, Cole's and Hobby Lobby Shopping Center in Southern Pines. Brick's Wood Fire Pizza is open every day at 11 a.m.
This is the perfect time of the year to bust out all your Echo tools and equipment from Beaver Equipment. Thanks to all the storms, my new Echo chainsaw from Beaver Equipment has been getting a good workout. Beaver Equipment is the place to go for rough and rugged Echo equipment for real men. They offer 5-year warranties and are locally owned and operated. So men, get out there and enjoy your Echo Power equipment from Beaver Equipment, Highway 211 in Aberdeen, 910-944-0402.
We're proud to be working with our local businesses for the greatest comeback of all time.
Come together.
With Talk 97.3 FM, 104.1 FM, and 990 AM, WEEB.
The Zumwalt Zone is proudly sponsored by Moore County Citizens for Freedom. Always looking out for you.
Hello, I'm John Zumwalt, and you're in the Zumwalt Zone. It's as though Biden has searched the world, and I might add, has been extremely successful in finding the absolute worst people to put in charge of government. Saul Omarova has been nominated for a position in the Biden administration. Let's talk about this woman. According to Senator Bill Hagerty, she's a Marxist academic who wants to destroy the American banking and energy sectors. She's calling for an end to banking the way we know it. She wants your checking and savings account money transferred to the Federal Reserve. She stated, and it's on video, that she's in favor of energy industries going bankrupt to combat climate change. Plus, she's been arrested for shoplifting years ago, but still arrested. Not so bad, you say? Well, she's nominated to lead the Treasury Department, the agency that supervises all banks and thrift institutions across the United States. In all the United States, Biden couldn't find someone who was not a Marxist. The person he nominated to run the Bureau of Land Management was connected to an eco-terrorism plot, a terrorist plot, of all people, and these will be confirmed. You watch, and they'll all get a top-secret clearance. I had a clearance like that for 2 decades, as did many in this community. They're hard to get. They're supposed to be. You shouldn't get one if you're a terrorist. I'm starting to think Biden's doing this on purpose, that he's not really that goofy. He's trying to destroy America. Have a good day. from the Zumwalt zone.
Hello and happy Thursday. We'll see a mostly sunny sky becoming partly cloudy this afternoon. We'll see another warm day ahead with highs today in the mid to upper 70s. It'll be breezy at times with wind gusts up to 25 miles per hour for today. Could see a few small showers this afternoon, a few more showers in the forecast tonight. That's as our next cold front moves through. Once that front passes, our temperatures turn significantly cooler. Highs Friday back in the low to mid 50s. I'm meteorologist Zach Malak in the Weather Center.
And now, the Sandhills' #1 morning show. Mornings with the LeaderMan. Here on Talk 97.3 FM, 104.1 FM, and 990 AM WEEB. And heard and seen around the world at talk973.com.
The best part of waking up is waking up with us.
Do you know what today is?
No way.
The Great American Smokeout.
By quitting smoking, you reduce your risks for high blood pressure, heart disease, stroke, and lung cancer.
And that is why it's the Great American Smokeout. The American Cancer Society's Great American Smokeout.
Giving up smoking is easy. I should know. I've done it thousands of times.
Smoke 'em if you got 'em.
No, that's the opposite of what I just said.
It's showtime.
Good morning, Talk 97.3 FM, 104.1 FM, and 990 AM, WEEB. Welcome back to the most listened to program in all of the Sandhills. It's time once again for Mornings with the LeaderMan. I am Steve Leader Adams, along with the Colonel, retired Marine Colonel Jeff Drummond. Good morning, Colonel.
Hey, good morning, Moore County. Time to once again take in the truth and fresh air of freedom found only here at WEEB. And let's give you a little proof of that. Yesterday on the 17th, the pilot put out a headline that said the SBI is investigating terroristic domestic parents' threats to the Moore County School Board. And on the same day, John Zumwalt got a response to his request from the SBI, asking what they're investigating and what the status of that investigation is. And the answer: the SBI isn't investigating anything in regard to Moore County and threats against the school board. He's posted both of those things on his Facebook page. You can go sit there and look that up and see that the SBI is not investigating anything in regard to domestic parenting terroristic threats against our Moore County School Board and the Queen Bee. So, once again, the pilot caught in a lie. Blatant lie, absolute lie. Both of those things are dated on the 17th of November. 17 November, the pilot says we're investigating, or we're being investigated, and on 17 November, the SBI says we aren't investigating. Gee, pilot, what's going on there, huh? Answer it up. Answer up. Answer that in your front page, you clowns.
I'll answer. They got their information from a crappy communications specialist. He doesn't know squat. He leaned over and asked her.
But they could have asked the SBI the same question John did.
That would be doing your job. She doesn't know how to do a job. Most incompetent person I've ever seen in my entire life. All right, 56 degrees here in the Sandhills area. John, you got a special guest this morning.
Well, I do have a special guest, and I'm so happy he's joining us today by phone. Abdul El Ali, he's a friend. I met him through David Hensley. David's very much involved in the Frederick Douglass Foundation. I can't take a lot of time and tell you all of this good man's qualification, but he's the chairman of the Cabarrus County Republican Party. He's the North Carolina Black Conservative Voices, and on and on and on. He's an Army veteran, a great guy, a wonderful public speaker. He's got one of the best shows, him and his twin brother, that you'll ever watch online. It's really good, and he'll tell us more about that.
On YouTube, yes.
On YouTube. Good morning, Abdul.
Good morning. Top of the morning, gentlemen.
Well, don't try and act like you're a British citizen all of a sudden. Okay. Actually, he's a funny guy, too, and especially when him and his brother get together, so I need to quit trying to be funny. Abdul, you agreed, you said you'd come on here today, and I'm so happy that you did. I don't even know where to start, but let's start let's just start with the event that's going on tonight, and then we're going to end with that as well when you give the details of how people can go there. And then the things you'll say in between are going to convince people that maybe I better get involved in this. So what's happening tonight?
So as many folks may already know, Stacey the Dragon Abrams was an integral part of flipping Georgia. And she will be speaking tonight at the Durham Performing Arts Center. She spoke last night at Mecklenburg County at Ovens Auditorium, I believe, there at the Bojangles Coliseum. And we're going to be out there tonight to send a message to her that she's not going to operate in North Carolina without impunity. She's not going to be able to come here and did what she did in Georgia. It's not going to happen.
What did she do?
So one of the interesting things I was preparing for last night, and what folks need to realize, is that in 2020, it was the largest increase in voter registration for Black, Latino, and Asian voters. It was a 130% increase. It was what she did was get out there and knock doors. Now, do I agree with going to the lowest income, lowest educated people and misinforming them? Absolutely not. But you have to stand in awe of the fact that she was able to get that done among minority voters.
Well, let's talk about the block captains and the payments. That's pretty important information, and it's pretty scary, Abdul.
So what I would impress on the listeners is that we all know, if you're a conservative, we know Democrats have been doing shady stuff for years and years and years. And what we find out now is if you go to the New North Carolina Project website, right, and you'll find out they have this thing called block captains, okay? And these block captains are essentially being paid to go register other block captains, okay? When you go to their website, you click on there, you'll see they use an organization called Block Power, okay? Block Power is basically the ambassador program. So they'll say, I'll come to you and say, hey, John, why don't you become a Block Power community ambassador, and I'll give you $40 to become an ambassador. I'm going to give you a $25 a month stipend. And for every other community ambassador you sign up, I'm going to give you another $10 on top of that. Wherever you see, when you go to the New North Carolina website and you click on donate, what you're going to find out is, just like we've explained on the Urban Conservative, it's Act Blue. And we all know who's connected to Act Blue. Who owns Act Blue? It's the Democrats. It is the Democrat Party. So here they are, using these voter education, 501c, whatever nonprofit organizations. They're basically engaging in electioneering under the guise of community engagement and voter education. That's what they're doing.
You know, I know that you've been extremely active in recruiting people to sign up to vote, but the way you and I want people to vote, and we do want people to vote, is based upon their beliefs. They're knowledgeable, educated, reading, keeping up with the candidates, and understanding who they're voting for. We do not want them to vote because someone paid them money to get out en masse and vote. Do you see things that way?
I do. I agree with you. And one thing I can share with you, John, look at this. It's right from the website. The New North Carolina Project. Help us make politics represent the needs of North Carolinians by investing in communities of color, expanding the engaged electorate, and creating hashtag voters for life. What they left out of that was Democrat voters for life is what they were really trying to do. I know it gets in, I hear people talk about voter registration a lot and getting out there and trying to flip their registration from Democrat or unaffiliated to Republican. Good friend of mine said, look, as conservatives, we haven't engaged enough in these communities. That is a very personal, in my opinion, a very tough thing to talk to somebody about when you've not had any other conversations with them. You've never sat down and broke bread with them. So to talk about flipping their voter registration from one thing to another, I think is a tough sell, especially in communities that, by and large, like I said, conservatives don't normally engage in. So my thing is to get people to start thinking. Like we say, think before you vote. At least think about it. Say, okay, what does person A stand for? What are my values, and does this person match up with my values? And that's what we at the Frederick Douglass Foundation are going to be doing to combat what Stacey Abrams and Amy Steele are doing. Is where they go, we're going to go and tell folks, let's think about what these people have said to you. Is voter ID racist, really? Are Republicans really racist when you look at the fact they elected, just like in Virginia, we've elected our black lieutenant governor? Like, so, I think it's a really, to get people to think before we get them to flip their registration.
It's, you said the word racist, and it's I think all of us agree it's a shame, and I think it's by design that we've been split, not just along the lines of color, but man, woman, our income and different things and education levels, and it's such a shame. Abdul, you're very extremely involved with the Frederick Douglass Foundation, an organization that you and David have been involved with a lot, and of course our good friend Clarence Henderson is the head of that. I don't know what his title would be, but can you tell us just a little bit about that? And then I want to go back to what's happening tonight and why and how folks can support you.
Oh, absolutely. Well, for those interested in supporting, our website is FDFNC, like Frederick Douglass Foundation, NC.org. The Frederick Douglass Foundation is an educational and public policy organization. We believe in teaching free market capitalism, helping people identify their values, going out and creating, dialogue in communities that generally don't have political dialogue. We believe in going out and performing community service as conservatives. As Christians, we believe that, faith is important, and being an organization that stands on Judeo-Christian principles is also important for us as well. We I feel, had a great impact on North Carolina's 2020 election, and I feel, as does David and Clarence, who is the president of the Frederick Douglass Foundation, that we've got a mission to carry on that legacy that Frederick Douglass started. And if I might just for a second, here's what happened. When I first was told that I was a conservative, I'm sitting at a lunch counter. I've told you this story before, but I'm sitting at the Rotary luncheon, and a friend of mine, city councilman, says, "Dude, you're a conservative. You're actually a conservative Republican." I had no idea what he was talking about. But when I go start doing research, the first thing that came up was Frederick Douglass. And for me, that was a divine thing to happen, because I read the autobiography of Frederick Douglass, and it helped me put things into perspective. So we want to carry out that legacy. Frederick Douglass was self-taught. He taught himself how to read. Well, think about what the Democrats are doing right now by trying to enforce these mask mandates in our school and trying to keep kids out of the school environment and make education more difficult to access and not allowing parent choice in education. They figure an illiterate generation is easy to control. So, our part of our big thing is to push literacy to parents and to young parents and to young children, to go out and get people to be engaged in the governing process and to know what's happening. And fortunately, as an organization, we do have a seat on the GOP, the North Carolina Republican Party Central Committee, that Clarence holds that seat. And it's just been an amazing opportunity for us to work, in tandem with, in some cases, and to do things that the Republican Party may not be in a position to do, such as the civic engagement, community engagement, and going out there and, doing some of the community service stuff. So that's kind of the foundation in a nutshell, and we're going to be on the ground fighting Stacey in 2022 as well. Give us that website one more time, please. So it is FDFNC.org, like Frederick Douglass Foundation, North Carolina.org.
And way before I ever met you, I read the autobiography of Frederick Douglass. I hope folks will consider getting that, either downloading it or buying the book and reading it. It's an amazing story, and it just it makes me never want to ever complain again about anything when I see what this man went through and overcame and didn't whine about. even though I think he had plenty of room to whine. He's one heck of a man. And of course, Clarence Thomas, the Supreme Court Justice, Clarence Henderson. Would you just say a word? There are people who were maybe do not know who he is, and can you remind them of the great thing that he did?
Well, look, Clarence is the president of the Frederick Douglass Foundation. He currently serves on Chief Justice Newby's. Is a panel he put together, a task force on, on the working department of the legal system. But Clarence Henderson, I call him the University of Clarence Henderson, a walking, living American history, was one of the 4 young men that on day 2 of the Woolworth sit-in sat in that Woolworth in 1960 in Greensboro. And he's been, I dare say, a champion of equality and ensuring that people understand that this country is something worth fighting for. He was the head of the Martin Luther King Jr. Commission. He was appointed to that by Governor McCrory. And he has been, for the longest time, a staunch supporter of the Republican Party. He was honored twice by President Trump, once at the White House and once on an Independence Day speech for his work in the civil rights movement and what he's continued to do. One thing that, and I'll tell you, every time you talk to Clarence, you learn something. He makes a valid point about something, and that is, if America is such a racist and evil place, why is it people are dying to get here but nobody's dying to leave? And I've been thinking about that, the 3 weeks ago that he said it to me, and I'm trying to get people to understand it's folks like Clarence that are living history, that know what racism was like. I don't have a reference for being told I can't go to a bathroom. I don't have a frame of reference for being told I got to order my food and then eat it out back, or I got to go around the back door. I don't have a frame of reference for having to cross the street when a white person walks by. But him having lived through Jim Crow and the segregated South and, knowing what he's been through, he has a show on the Urban Conservative called Freedom Talk with Clarence Henderson. I implore everybody to take a listen to that at the Urban Conservative. But that is who Clarence is. He's a fighter. He's a good Christian man. Robin, his wife, beautiful lady. He's a husband. He's a father. Just a great all-around American.
I have a text from a listener that said, make sure you clarify that the site is Block Power rather than Black Power. Now, I don't know if my Texas accent's screwing that up or not, but anything to say about that?
That is correct. It's called Block Power, BLOCK Power. And you can go right there, like the one that texted you, and you can see we're not making this up. These people on the left have literally figured out a way to buy votes. I've got friends that live up in Asheville. Stacey Abrams was given a little over $1 million to bring people to North Carolina from Georgia to establish residency here and to vote in our elections in 2022 to try to flip that Senate seat to the Democrats. So we know they're on the ground. It's just, are we going to do what it takes to fight them?
Abdul, as two people who think alike here, I have been complaining for a long time that we don't do enough to include everyone within the Republican Party. I think the Republican Party is trying very hard now to make that happen, and thank the good Lord above for you and Clarence. I want to encourage folks, one of the questions that we get more than probably any other question is how can we work to make sure this election's fair, and how can we work to make sure that conservative candidates are elected? I can't think of any better way than to support you in your fight to make this happen. And that's why I want you to say one more time how people may donate, how they can contribute to this cause with money, and then in a minute we'll talk about with action.
So one of the things we've got to look at is and the irony is not lost on me even slightly, that the lady who is running the new North Carolina project is out of my county, out of Cabarrus County. She lost in the state house to the late Linda Johnson, and she lost to our current representative, Dr. Kristen Baker. So now she's raised, in a matter of a month and a half, 2 months, she's gone out there and raised about $3 million towards supporting what these Democrats and these leftists and these Marxist socialists want to do to our country. People can go to the Frederick Douglass Foundation and join. We've got memberships that start as low as $35 all the way up to a legacy member of $1,000. We have a plan to combat Stacey Abrams. It's going to cost us a little over $350,000. So you can go to the Frederick Douglass Foundation website and make a contribution there. We love to have members of the foundation. So, district liaisons. We have, all these congressional districts. We'd like to have liaisons in each area. One other thing I'd like to say to your point, though, real quick, about the Republican Party and wanting people to get engaged. Thanks to the work of myself, Shamika Bethia, Clarence Henderson, and a few others, Johnson, our vice president, your North Carolina Republican Party is leading the way nationwide in black and minority leadership and engagement. And why do I say that? When I went to my first convention, my first state convention, it was me, Clarence Henderson, his wife, Kevin Daniels, and maybe 2 or 3 other black folks. And we had one black county chair at that time, Emmanuel Jarvis, up there in Durham. We did, thanks to Chairman Watley and the vision that Clarence had, we've gone ahead and increased the number of leaders we have. So not only do we have a black Republican lieutenant governor, the chairman of the North Carolina Federation of Republican Men is a black man that sits on our central committee. We have Emmanuel Jarvis was elected as a district chair. We have Wilfred Ruck, who is a vice chairman of the district, the new District 9, which was District 12. Myself as a chairman in Cabarrus County. Ken Raymond and Harold Eustace, 2 black men, chair and vice chair up in Forsyth County. Justice Payton, black female, vice chair in Orange County. Danielle Robinson, second vice chair up in Wake County. Shamika Bethia, second vice chair down there in Cumberland County. So we've gone ahead, and I can't forget, we have our first Hispanic chairman, Omar Lugo, up in Alamance County. So what we have to do is this. We can complain and say what the Republicans aren't doing, but Clarence and my philosophy was, let's not complain, let's become the leadership. My conversation in my community now is completely different as the chairman of the county party and somebody who can actually pick up the phone while I'm in the barbershop and people are spewing out MSNBC talking points. And I'm like, well, that's a load of crap. And I can tell you, because I can call the guy who wrote the bill. I can call the guy who's in D.C. right now. So, it becomes incumbent on us to recognize we have to become the leaders. It's like the old JFK saying, ask not what your country can do for you, ask what you can do for your country. We've adopted the philosophy of ask not what the party can do for us, but what we can do for the party. And in that vein, we can become the leaders. We can take what Mark Robinson did in becoming our lieutenant governor and use that and say, you don't have to be rich. You don't have to have graduated Yale summa cum laude with 40 degrees to be in leadership. All you have to do is have a willingness, a desire, and the want to go out there and do it. So people can support the foundation, again, monetarily by doing that. We've got a plan to defeat Stacey Abrams and to stem that blue tide that they're going to try to bring here, and we're going to need all the help we can get.
Well, Abdul, one of I think the thing I love most about what you're doing is when you recruit people to the Republican Party, you don't do it by paying them some money. Rather, you do it by chatting with them and talking to them. And just like the man told you, hey, Abdul, you are a conservative and you're a Republican. When I see some of these black grandmas out there, they remind me so much of my grandma. And if I could talk to them, I would like to tell them, my grandma would never have been in favor of abortion. She would shudder to think that she would ever even know about it. These ladies are not in favor of abortion. They're not in favor of letting people come over the wall. They're not in favor of just giving people things for nothing. I can't help but think, Abdul, that these are conservative ladies. If they could, would sit down and think about it and talk about it. Am I wrong about that?
No, you're absolutely right. What we find out most, if not dang near most black folks have conservative-leaning principles. We're God-fearing. We want the best education for our children. You know, nothing different than what every American wants. However, the media has convinced our community, because we're the only community that votes 90%, 85% at a clip for one political party. Media and the Marxists and socialists who have infiltrated our education system, the people who own Hollywood and the music and entertainment industry, these far left, I won't even use the word liberals, I'm going to use the word progressives. These far leftist progressives have convinced the black community that Republicans are not the party of the working class, are not the party of actual diversity, not just of skin color, but of thought and of skill set and things of that nature. So I think, to your point, it becomes incumbent on us to go into communities without that Republican label and have conversations. Without the label, you know, that was a big part of our success in 2020, was just pulling up into communities, taking off the lapel pin, taking off the Republican Donald Trump hat and saying, what's going on here? What's the problem in this community? Okay, this is the problem. Do you know what the solutions are already there? Let's get you connected with your Community Development Commission. Let's get you connected with your city staff. Instead of going to the daggone elected official, you need to be going to the staff, because they're the ones that make things happen. So I think it's those heartfelt conversations. But one other thing I tell folks whose freckles are not as close together as mine on the conservative side of things, and I hear people say it a lot, they'll come up to me and they'll say, you know, Abdul, well, you know, I'm not a racist. I don't see color. And I always tell them, I'm like, don't say you don't see color, because I am clearly brown. Clarence is obviously clearly brown. Mark, you can't not say you don't see brown when you look at Mark Robinson. What you mean to say is you treat people according to the content of their character instead of the color of their skin. That is a better way to phrase that saying, and I think that's what most Americans do. They look at people and judge them on the content of their character. One last thing I'll say to prove your point on that. I was just listening to a Larry Elder interview, and he talked about a survey that was done in the mid-2000s. This is right before Barack Obama took into office. And they had asked, the survey had asked a bunch of teenagers, if black and white teenagers, if racism was a major impact in their life or a major impediment to their life. More black children than you think, almost to the tune of 80% of the kids that they surveyed, and it says racism is not a problem. It's not even a little problem in my life. And I think we've got to thank Michelle and Barack Obama for restoking those flames. We've got to look at folks like Al Sharpton going out there and fanning the flames. You see them showing up to these different trials and all of that, creating headaches for folks. So, it's a matter, I think, of us on the conservative side. One, getting into communities and being of service, and two, realizing that we can have conversations. You don't have to learn Ebonics to speak to black people. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can just have a regular conversation. But I think that it's where and when and how we have those conversations, and that's why the Frederick Douglass Foundation, to bring it back to that, is so important, so that we can begin to create opportunities and avenues. We did a back-to-school drive in Moore County, and, as you know, our friend David Hensley gets called the greatest racist since Strom Thurmond, right? And people that were there, the parents, especially the black parents, were like, wait a minute, if he's a racist, why is he in this community of service? He ain't asking about votes. He answered everybody's questions. And it's a grassroots, heartfelt way to bridge that gap between our elected officials, those who serve and lead us in the communities, is by being of service.
Well, Ali, we've got just a little bit of time left, and if someone thinks that was some kind of a slip-up that I called you Ali, your name is Ali, Abdul El Ali. So, Abdul, we've only got a little bit of time left, so I want to very quickly, I want you to plug. I listen to your show at night when I can. And the other night I was in my living room, and I was laughing. I never laugh out loud when I'm alone, never. But I was laughing at you and your twin brother. You're really funny guys, and I hate to say that because David thinks he's funny, and I love David, but he's not funny. But anyway, it was a great show. So quickly plug it, tell people how they can listen to it, and then let's get on to one final question I want to get in here. All
right, so that is the Urban Conservative. You can go to TU, like 2TU, TUconservative.com. We have my brother and I show. Shouts out to my twin brother Raheem, Architect Soto. We have our show, The Urban Conservative, which is Monday nights at 8 p.m. We have shouts out to Scott and Zinga, the conservative couple, a.k.a. the Two Americas, show every Wednesday at 8 p.m. on The Urban Conservative. And you guys can go to TUconservative.com to support that. We are an organically growing platform. We really believe in taking the conservative message into urban communities, into the bluest parts of our state, and having conversation and dialogue and engaging and having fun.
I'm so sorry to cut you off, but I've got to get you to tell us one more time where people can go tonight to meet up with you to help support this Stacey Abrams Be Gone movement. And we've only got like 30 seconds.
Go to GoHomeStacey.com and find out more. We will be at the Durham Performing Arts Center in Durham, North Carolina. That is going to be at 123 Vivian Street. We will be there at 6:30 to protest the presence of Stacey Abrams and to let her know she is not going to come here and operate with impunity. So that is the Durham Performing Arts Center, 123 Vivian Street in Durham.
All right, Abdul, listen, thank you. I plan to be there. I'll see you there tonight. Best of luck. Thank you so much for coming on and giving us a lot of information we didn't have. And I'll see you tonight, my friend.
See you, my brother. Thanks for the opportunity.
All right, so it goes for this Thursday. Have yourself a great, safe day. We'll see you back bright and early tomorrow, 7 to 9 for a TSIF Thanksgiving Friday. Until then, be sure to support the mom and pop businesses you hear on WEEB. They're local. We need to support them because it helps strengthen our economic position. And most of the money will stay here and roll over and create more jobs. So when you go, be sure to tell them WEEB asked you to come. And don't forget also, millions of Americans have fought and they have died to give and protect the freedoms that you get to enjoy today. Live today worthy of their and their family's sacrifice. I'm Steve Leader Adams, and the Leader Man and Nick and Colt the Dog will all see you at 2 o'clock this afternoon at the Sunny Dog Park.